Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 10 of Bakemonogatari.
Yeah, we're pretty far into it.
Yeah, almost finished with the first season. Last time we got Nadeko's first episode. We got to meet her, and we got to see some interesting stuff about her. Very, very interesting. Like, she might be into bondage. Is that what we got, Kiwi? Or something else?
No, we got about the snakes. The snakes, not bondage. What are you fucking talking about?
You sure? And
She's a child.
I mean, Kanbaru says that. Okay. Child does not apply to Monogatari. Hachikuji is also a child, okay?
He's a child. Yeah, but Hachikuji is dead, so she can be abused by Araragi.
I see. I see that dead people have no rights. Alrighty.
I mean, we abuse Chris pretty much every day, so.
Oh no, Chris. Anyways, you guys know the drill. Sync up your own copy with Kiwi and her timer. Right there at the bottom left corner of the screen. Servi is not able to join us because she has adult responsibilities, so yes, it's gonna be us just finishing this arc.
She has she has second-hand embarrassment about talking about balls.
Anyways, I'm gonna start the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Goodbye, bitches. No, don't leave.
Yeah, like how you say goodbye as soon as they start.
Mm. Well, this makes me believe that we girls are fucking stupid.
It's been something that I've been questioning as well. Like, the guy that I liked confessed to her and she rejected him, so I hate her for rejecting him.
I was like, Zero, you like the guy?
God damn it, Kiwi. Speaking hypothetically from the friend's viewpoint, alright? Also, if you're wondering, again, why Kiwi's singing is 5 seconds late from the actual lyrics, it's because Discord.
Why do I know this song? Because of Bakugo.
Well, actually I guess that's how most people know about this song. Like, a lot of people actually don't know that it's from Monogatari, or like, Monogatari is actually a series.
Look, I actually watched this, knowing that it was Monogatari song, because I heard this version first.
I see. Good. That means that you're a legit weeb.
Is the reason. Bakugo is the reason I know the lyrics for it, though. Kami-sama arigato. Tumei wo matsusete mo. Yawase no. Was it hard? keep looking at me for forever. No. Like every girl in the Monogatari series.
Do you know somebody who's done something like this? Like, well, not cursed somebody, but like gotten mad at their friend.
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, my sister came into the room. My ex-best friend accused me of like liking the same guy that she did, even though that I liked him before her, and that I'm a bad friend because I ended up falling for the same guy that she did.
Oof. That's kind of cringe.
And she
Not
did
gonna
not
lie.
want it. And she did not want to talk to me because of it, because she thought I spread it around the school that she liked that guy.
Ugh.
And the colors are saturated again.
Hmm. Yeah, I love this OST as well. So many good OSTs from Monogatari. I wish I could actually use this as a background music for the legit casuals play. But no, copyright.
Is it like the piano version as well, like a cover of it? Is it also like copyrighted?
I'd have to ask for permission from whoever did the cover.
I mean, it's her friend liked him. I think I called it.
What did you call?
Him her liking Araragi.
What? When did you mention this?
In the last theory, when I was making the theories that she has feelings for Araragi in the past, I said that.
A future Zero will know.
Oh, it's not Bara, it's Rara. Oh my god, a Siscon. Brockon. Not Siscon, Brockon. Oh my god, nickname Rara means a woman of lesser nobility.
What?
Rara means a woman of lesser nobility. Was she perhaps cursed by his sisters?
They did say in the beginning of the episode that it was probably like, the guy or probably your friend who cursed her, I think.
I mean, yes, but
Also, you have to
I
remember
don't
that
trust
those
Monogatari
sisters.
girls when they say.
Yeah. Your thought about like her and the sisters not being friends anymore is an assumption. We don't really know yet, I don't think.
Ew, that's disgusting. Oof.
That is not how a foot should be twisted. Oh. Thank God for Araragi being a vampire. But it still hurts, obviously. Hmm. Kanbaru best told me.
I mean, they deserve it. Aw, she is really cute. I don't know why people say that her arc is weak.
Hmm.
Aww.
I see. So you're of the opinion that you disagree with what most people might consider to be like the weakest arc in Monogatari.
No, I don't think it's the weakest arc. I think it's a really cute arc. I don't think it's weak whatsoever. Like, it showed us a bunch about Araragi and about the little girl, Sengoku. It showed us a bunch. I don't know why people think this is the weakest arc.
Hmm. Well, as somebody who's watched it several times, I can say that it probably is the weakest in terms of like story elements. But I can also say that it's very important setup for a greater payoff, which is why it might not be as like fulfilling, I guess.
We'll learn. we learned a bunch about Kanbaru from what we've seen so far. We've seen that Kanbaru she's pretty naive when it comes to making friendships. She's also really nice, and that is maybe why she doesn't have a lot of friends. Because she is nice. She is quite introverted and shy. Araragi,
You mean
she likes
Nadeko?
Araragi.
Not Kanbaru, right?
Nadeko. Nadeko. And Araragi is really kind, and that is why she got attracted to Araragi even as a little kid. We saw that even in the last episode. She was attracted to him because he was kind, and he talked to her even though she was being really quiet and shy. That tells us a lot about Kanbaru. That tells us that she is naive, that she is easily swayed, and that something in the future will happen where she will be used in some way, shape, or form.
Nadeko, not Kanbaru.
Nadeko. I'll just call her the little snake girl because I keep on calling her Kanbaru.
Well, I mean, it's good that you remember Kanbaru's name, but
Yeah, so the little snake girl. Yeah, like I said, she's pretty easy to manipulate in many ways, it seems. Araragi is nice to the point of feeling bad for the person that cursed her, and then she also feels bad towards the little snake girl because she feels bad for the person that cursed her. So that tells us that Araragi is extremely empathetic, even though we already knew that. That tells us even more. Yeah, Araragi is empathetic to the point of it being a really big flaw for himself. This episode just confirms what I said in the Kanbaru ending one, where I was talking about how Araragi, that's like one of the biggest Araragi's flaws, even though it's a really big plus, at the same time it's an extremely big flaw for Araragi, because he is way too nice for his own good.
yeah.
And then you have Nadeko, the little snake girl, who is attracted to that kindness. She is really attracted to the idea of Araragi being her Onichan, being a really nice guy, being someone who she always wanted in her life. That tells me, firstly, what that told me is that she is an only child or has an older sister. And secondly, she has never experienced that kind of kindness in her life. And that is why she is so attracted to Araragi, to the point of it being, I would not say an obsession, but the lyrics of the opening kind of point towards it turning into an obsession rather than just simple love. That is basically why she really likes him, why she came to her Onichan to rescue her. Basically, she didn't really come to him, but when she saw that he noticed her, she went to him for help. So yeah, and I don't think that this is like one of the weaker arcs. I truly don't, because even though nothing plot-wise was put out, it still showed us like a bunch of things and confirmed a lot of things that could be theorized about in the past episodes, like Araragi's flaw, Oshino himself, like how Oshino said that he is planning to leave later on, Araragi feeling kind of not superior, but like the opposite of that, feeling kind of under about the fact that he is unable to help anyone else without help of Oshino. He wants to help people, but because he's just a vampire, like a half already himself, he cannot really help them without the help of Oshino. So he feels inferior to that. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good arc in my opinion. I don't see how it's a weak arc. I really like it personally. It's like one of those arcs that not that I can relax on. It's just that I don't know how to explain it. I don't think this was a bad arc. I really liked it actually. It feels like I'm watching Natsume in Monogatari, but with a little more gore. Because instead of just focusing on the whole plot and the whole fighting scenes and on everything, it focuses mostly on the main character and shows us how the main character is flawed and what his flaw is. Because Monogatari is clearly pointing towards it being Araragi's flaw and not a plus point, even though the characters keep on telling us, oh, you are so kind, you are so nice. Like they keep on portraying it as a good trait, but the show itself, like the narrating parts and how like the like everything about the show is telling us that Araragi being kind is not something to be like, not a good trait of the character. It's actually a really bad trait of him because he cannot leave someone who is in trouble, and that leads him to being injured, to being hurt, to being everything. Not being kind to himself and his body. That is why I like this arc, basically.
Yeah, I think
I
this
did
arc.
not get a lot of Nadeko, but I got a lot of Araragi. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I suppose so. Because like Nadeko's story doesn't really flesh out here just yet. There's obviously gonna be more of her later on because this is just a setup and introducing her. But yeah, we learn a lot about Araragi here, and Araragi, I think you bring up an interesting point of how like a lot of characters say that's a good thing, and pretty much every arc so far has been just like telling Araragi that too much of a good thing is a bad thing in a way. Is I think probably the perfect saying that you could say for like Araragi's kindness here. And like even Hanakawa in the last episode was talking about how he's too kind to everybody and that he should understand boundaries more.
Yeah, and Araragi does not seem to understand that just yet. He thinks that he is doing something great, when in this episode alone, he was trying to be really kind to Nadeko, and he was trying to like fight the sneaks off so that Nadeko's classmates would not get cursed as well. But in the end, Kanbaru had to step in and stop him before he actually hurt himself to the point of no return, because she was feeling hurt, while Araragi was feeling hurt, because he is her close friend, basically. She's a friend, she's a boyfriend of her friend from, like, of her past crush. So of course she's going to feel extremely hurt by Araragi getting hurt, because they're close. They're closer now than they were before. So, yeah. Like, the show itself is telling us, Araragi is doing something bad on himself, hurting others around him, but he doesn't see it because he mistakes it as kindness. And that's what I think, kind of, is Araragi's curse, basically. Not that he is a vampire, not that he is like a half vampire, not that he has to give blood to Shinobu. It's that he is extremely, extremely kind. And that is his flaw, because Oshino told him even at the end of the episode, if you want to become a pure human, you can just throw Shinobu out. You don't have to keep Shinobu. So that tells me that like he is probably still just half a vampire because he's still keeping Shinobu around him. In the first episode, Shinobu was described as a non-entity, like she doesn't have a soul, she's just an empty husk. And
in her current state.
That just means that basically, from what I got from it, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry about that. You can correct me if I'm wrong. So Araragi is basically the entity that's keeping Shinobu from like dying, from disappearing completely. So that's just like another sign that Araragi's kindness, like of how nice Araragi is. He can be perverted, he can be a fucking scum, the biggest scum on the earth, but he is still a really kind human being. So yeah, I just think personally that that's kind of like Araragi's curse and Araragi's biggest flaw, that he is too kind for his own good. That's something he has to fix, because not every person on the planet Earth or in the Monogatari world, not every girl and every person in that show needs help from some other entity. They have to learn how to fix it themselves. And someone else coming in and fixing it for them is kind of like not really helping them out. It's just useless kindness that will lead to nothing. I understand on why Kanbaru needed help. I understand why Senjugohara needed help. And I also understand why Snake Girl needs help. I understand that. But to a certain degree, I can see as to why like Araragi is doing is wrong. Because I personally would not get involved with Nadeko's problem. I would just explain to her how she can fix it and not try to fight off the snakes. I would not do that. I personally wouldn't. If someone cursed me because I liked a guy that they liked before and I got a fucking snake on my body, personally, I would not seek help from anyone else. I would try to solve it myself. If I need help from anyone else, and they help me out and they try to take on the curse themselves, I would not be thankful. I would feel burdened, because that is not being kind. That's just...
Well, actually, Nadeko didn't like that guy. The correction there. Nadeko likes somebody else.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
But
that was my fault.
Also,
I
Nadeko
there.
did try to get rid of the curse herself, but she actually only made it worse by killing the snakes here at the shrine.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, like, how do I explain it? If she has snake markings on her body, it's really not because of a real snake is attacking her. It's an oddity. And I'm guessing that she also knew that it was a curse. So I would not personally go around killing the snakes. I would go to a priest or a shrine in this case, and I would ask for help about it. Like, I would ask, what do I have to do for the snake to disappear? But she came directly to Araragi and asked, like, for actual personal help. Like, she stripped her shirt and showed him the signs. That kind of made me... I really like Nadeko. Don't take me wrong. I really like Nadeko. I think that she is really adorable, and I like how she has a freaking huge crush on Araragi because of the childhood that they went through. I feel like that is a really cute crush she has there. But yeah, I would not want someone like that to get involved in my situation. I would just ask for advice. Like, my friend this and this got cursed, and I'm not sure how to get rid of it. Do you have any idea about it? Kind of like that. Sounds really stupid, but that's just my personal way. And if I heard that the person who saved me tried to put the curse on themselves to keep the people who cursed me from getting cursed, I would feel more so betrayed and angry rather than thankful for it, because I don't see that as kindness. I just see that as self-injury. Like, if they cursed me because I rejected the person that they liked, that is a really stupid reason to curse someone. That is extremely stupid reason to curse someone. Why would you dislike someone who rejected someone because you like the boy? Like, that's something I'll never understand, even in my personal life. If someone got mad at me for rejecting someone else when I knew that they liked them, I did not reject them because I was like, yeah, I don't want to date this person because they're ugly or whatever. I rejected them because I don't want to hurt them. Like, I don't want to hurt your feelings by dating them. Does that make any sense?
I know, but like, I still don't understand the reasoning behind that and why people think like that. Because then, like, I mean, we're like taking into consideration our friend's feelings, who has feelings for this guy. So like, no, we're not gonna date them. We're not interested in them to begin with. We're in love with somebody else.
Yeah.
You know?
And because of that, people get angry at you because of that. I don't understand that. If someone else found me more attractive than you, it's not my fault. It's your fault for being fucking ugly, not mine. So don't be angry at me.
Damn. Snakes just went back to the people that cast the curses, which is presumably the classmates here. Probably. And they're gonna start constricting those classmates instead, which is something that Araragi didn't want to happen, but yeah. Kanbaru had to step in and be the bad guy here and say that you can't save everybody.
I don't think that Kanbaru was a bad guy here. She was just speaking the truth. And if it's seen as her being a bad guy, then people have some really serious issues in not knowing what's their problem, where they should stick their nose in and where they shouldn't. That is also like one of the problems that I have with Araragi, because he sticks his nose in stuff that's not his problem a lot of times, which I find, if I was friends with Araragi in real life, I would not be friends with him much longer, because that seriously annoys me about people when they try to stick their nose in something that's not their problem. If I think of you as someone trustworthy and I want your help, I'll come to you for help. You don't need to stick your nose in my problems if I don't ask for help. That kind of thing.
I see.
So Araragi, who was kind of pushing himself on Senjugo Hara and pushing himself on Kanbaru's problems. No, Kanbaru came to find him. Never mind. I'm sorry about that. If I was Senjugo Hara on the moment
more like
I'm sorry, I'm just
Kanbaru
going
came
off
to
of this
kill
episode.
him.
Yeah, but if I was Senjugo Hara and like someone started coming to me to try and help me, I would be like, what the fuck is your problem? Please leave me alone. I don't want your help. I don't know you. Please
Kiwi,
go away from me.
You remember what Sejigahara did?
Yeah. Yeah, she was like that at the beginning, but as she saw how like I don't want to say earnest, but how much Araragi wanted to help her.
I mean, yeah, you can use earnest. Like he really wanted to genuinely help her out of his own goodwill. There was no ill will towards her, no other ulterior motive, like conning her or something like that.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just going off right now, but I know that Senjuku Hara basically told him that she doesn't want any help, and after she saw how earnest he was and how nice he was actually, she let him in. But if I was that personally, if you suddenly started coming towards me and putting your nose in my problems, I would first get really mad at you and really offended, and then I would try to stay away from you, because I would think that you're trying to get something out of me instead of wanting to actually earnestly help me. That is just how I would see it.
Oh, yeah, that's just your own mistrust towards people.
And so, I can kind of not relate to Sergio Hara and how, like, everyone here in the show is kind of ending up being helped by Araragi. And that is also why I kind of get really, really annoyed by Araragi, because, yeah, I mean, he's our protagonist, and because everything is from his point of view, I personally know that he means no harm in anything that he does. So that is why I'm still continuing to watch Monogatari, because I know that he's actually a really nice person that wants to help people. I'm just speaking how I would react to it and so on. Yeah, I think that I told pretty much everything about it. I don't want to theorize anything about Nadeko's situation. I mean, I guess I have pretty much a good idea about like what's happening. Maybe she's getting kind of bullied at school, or has some kind of problems because she's pretty like shy and introverted and quiet. So maybe she has problems making friends because of like her personality type, which I can extremely relate to. But I don't want to kind of like theorize about it when I don't really know everything about it. From what I've seen from this episode, that's kind of what I'm getting about it. She is extremely like pretty and cute, but she is really quiet and shy. She does not use like what she has as her charm point, which makes me think that she is not really a bitchy girl.
Don't worry, we'll get more into her later. You're still missing a lot of puzzle pieces here.
Now I want to kind of like touch on his sisters, like kind of a little bit from what I've seen so far. I have not seen a lot about it, but just from kind of what I've seen. So one of his sisters, his youngest sister, which I think is the girl with short hair and like a kimono, I think, she seems to have been her friend, from what I've understood, when he was still in 6th grade, so like long ago, because his sisters are in middle school, I believe. So yeah, from what I've seen of his sisters is that they're kind of like, they're not really boyish, but they're kind of like confident, strong, outgoing, so to say. So I can see how someone like her ended up befriending someone as introverted and quiet as Nadeko. And I can also see how that kind of friendship, this is just me theorizing, how that kind of friendship would kind of fall apart. Because as someone who is an introverted and shy person, I sometimes end up putting like a wall between people and me without really meaning to. Because I just don't know how to say certain things and get certain feelings out. So I can see how they would kind of like pull apart, not because they had a bad relationship, so to say, but maybe because as they grew, they kind of grew apart, not because they got into a fight, but because they got older, and like his sisters met new people and they've befriended new people, and she stayed in like the same spot that she was in before.
Okay, well, yeah, before you get too much into that theory, I could say that there has not been any sign or anything said within the show that her and the little sister aren't friends anymore. It's just that Araragi doesn't remember her.
Yeah, I'm just going off of what I've like seen so far.
Yeah.
It's just that I'm not saying that they're not friends anymore. It's just that I'm trying to make a theory about like why does Araragi not remember someone like who before came over to their house often, because if I think about it now, I'm just trying to kind of like make sense about what I'm talking about. Before, when I had my childhood friends, we would often come over to each other's house pretty often, and because of that, like parents and their parents and siblings would often remember me and meet me on the street, even though I would not remember them, but they would remember me. And so someone who is as nice and cute as Nadeko, I don't think that she would slip off Araragi's perverted mind if she came often to their house. And from what I've seen from his sisters, they're pretty like outgoing and nice, so I would assume that like they would bring their friends often over to their house. And if she came over to their house when they were little, I would assume that if they stayed really close friends, she would still come over pretty often to their house again. It's just me kind of like assuming everything, but if that makes any sense. I'm not saying that they're not friends anymore, I'm just saying that maybe they're not as close as they were before.
Yeah, I mean, that is a good assumption to make, with how like Araragi hasn't seen her recently, which is why you can't remember her. But also something to note here is that Araragi doesn't remember, despite being like 6 years old at the time, I think. That might be a recurring theme, but we'll see.
Oh damn, is Araragi also one of the kids who does not remember their childhood like I am? I don't remember anything from when I remember stuff only from my age 12 and up. I don't remember anything earlier from that, so I can kind of relate to that in Araragi's case.
I think it's integrated in an interesting way within the story, where Araragi never adds like any extras into his story, which is why there's literally like nobody else in the world except the main characters. So maybe it has something to do with that. I won't go into it too much though.
Yeah, thank you for the tip. That's actually a really good tip. I can make good theories from that.
I've actually seen like quite a few theory videos like, oh, why does the world of Monogatari have no people in it? And a lot of people come up with really crazy stuff. But yeah, it's all fun.
With crazy stuff. I'm just thinking like maybe Araragi is kind of similar to me, where people who don't make an impression on me kind of disappear from my memory, like they were never there. I cannot remember half of my class's faces or names, like old classmates. If you did not make a really good impression on me or like a really crazy one, I will not remember you whatsoever. So maybe Araragi is like that. I don't like to look at other people around in the world.
That's a lot of people, really. Like, I don't remember every single person that I walk past, so like, why would I include them when I'm talking about something, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, I think that was a good discussion. Next episode...
I'm sorry I went on a bit. I'm sorry that I went on a bit of like a long rant on why I don't like Araragi too much.
Don't worry.
I'm really sorry.
It's interesting to see how your opinions on the characters change, of course. I think you liked him at the beginning, but then like now like...
I still like Araragi, but if I put him into a situation where in real life where I would meet him, I would really dislike him. Like really, really dislike him. As a main character, really like him. I really do.
I see.
But at the same time, I don't like that he puts like his nose in things that are usually would not be considered his problem.
Yeah.
But if he does not do that, then we would have no fucking plot in Monogatari. So
that is true. Araragi moves the plot, so he kind of has to do that.
Yeah, it's a valuable like reason as to why he has to do it. So
all the characters will probably change, and within this point of time, it's cool to know where you stand. Yeah. Either way.
I mean, I really like Kanbaru. And I really like Senjugohara, even though she ends me being mentally exhausted. I really like her. And I really, really, really like Nadeko.
Well,
I met her a little bit and she is already... Like, I said that I won't point like at a best girl so far. But so far, Nadeko is one of my favorites. I kind of ended up connecting to Nadeko even though nothing was said about Nadeko. Maybe I like her because nothing was said about her.
Guys, if you know, you know. But yeah.
Oh wait, is Nadeko the girl that has problems? Is
Thank
Nadeko
you
the
guys
most
so much for
relatable to you?
watching.
Zero, no, you cannot leave it at that.
We'll see you all
Zero.
in the next one. Later, dudes.
Zero. Bye bye, degenerates.